G'day again. Welcome back to Dad vs. Son and our continuing playthrough of Illusions of Glory by GMT. At the end of the last video, we'd finished the winter 1916, turn 7, and we're about to go on to the spring of 1916. We've had a lot of attrition down here in Serbia, and the only remaining units now are 2 reduced Austro-Hungarian corps. However, we've had some Austro-Hungarian reinforcements turn up on the Italian front, 5 full corps worth, which is going to put a fair bit of pressure on the Italians here. I tried a couple of sneaky moves last turn with the Italians on their front, and it didn't work out. So the poor old Italians lost 3 corps and 3 SCUs at the time. So I need to beef them back up where possible. So we're starting this turn with the German and Austro-Hungarian national will on 8, the Russian national will on 11, the Austro-Hungarian troop quality is now down at 0, so anybody they bring on potentially will come on reduced, reinforcement wise that is. The German troop quality is down to 10, and the Russian is on 11 and Italian on 14. Victory points are still right in the middle at 15, between 0 and 30, and the armistice marker still has not moved yet. We have the Allies have an Italian mandatory offensive, and the Central Powers have a Balkans mandatory offensive, which will be interesting because at the moment there's nothing there. So that'll be really, really interesting. I've reset the action counters. I remembered again. And we are good to go. So, Allies get a E for an event, and the only event they have is Italian reinforcements. Now, cannot be played as a reinforcement card until summer of 16, so we can't play it for its event, and that also happens to be our lowest ops point card, so we have to play that card no matter what. So we either play it for 2 ops points or we play it for 1 Russian replacement point. So what do we wish to do? Okay, so what I'm thinking is I need to reposition the Italians, so I'm going to use it for its ops points, and I'm going to do something with that stack, and I'm going to do something with that stack. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is move this Italian mountain troop, excuse me, 1, whoops, 2, in with 7 corps. I'm then going to move 6 corps up and 8 corps over. And that puts us on par with the Austro-Hungarians in Trieste. Okay, so over to the Central Powers, and they have a C, which is Falkenhayn. Now, okay, so if we use Falkenhayn, it gets us 1 war status point. We can use the card for ops, which is 2 ops. General Erich von Falkenhayn is sent east to command Turkish troops. Place the Falkenhayn HQ on the map board with any supplied Turkish LCU. CP units stacked with Falkenhayn HQ are activated as one nationality, and all future CP mandated offensive die rolls receive a +1 die roll modifier. So we're going to do Falkenhayn. Okay. So first thing is we get a war status point for the CP, taking them up to 14, which takes the total up to 27 or 40 for the armistice. Grab the Falkenhayn headquarters unit, and we're going to place it with 2 corps at the moment here in Edernay. Sorry, can't pronounce it. Not sure how to pronounce it, I should say. And we get a +1 die roll modifier again to the mandated offensive, so they're now at their maximum of 2. Okay, so they're playing an event, and they have 2 ops points to play with. So the first one they're going to do is to do something with 13 corps. Okay. And 13 corps can then move into Skroder, and take the last Serbian town. The last Albanian town into their control, and then effectively the whole of the Balkans, other than neutral Greece, is then in their control, which I think helps with one of their further cards. Okay, one other thing to do. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Excuse me. Okay, and what we're going to do is move forward the 27th reserve. Okay, so 13 AH Corps moves up to there and takes control. And now they have the whole of Albania, the whole of Montenegro, and the, making sure, the whole of Serbia as well. So they control the Balkans. Righto. So that's one. And then we're going to up here to the 27th Reserve Corps, and they're going to go 1, 2, 3 into Posen and beef them up to their full stacking limit as well. Okay, back to the Allies. And they get another event. Yay! And we have no event, so we have to use the lowest card, and that gives us either of our combat cards, which are both 3 ops, and they both have 1 Allied, 1 Italian, and 2 Russian replacement points. Now, which one do I want to use? And I'm going to use the no retreat, and I'm going to use it for its replacement points. So we have 1 for the Allies, 1 for the Italians, and 2 for the Russians. And we're back to the Central Powers, who get a DE. So they have their King Constantine, and they have the Tsar takes command. Now, the Tsar takes command. For the rest of this turn, any AP attack that includes a Russian unit receives a -1 die roll modifier, and I think that's what they want to do. Okay, so they're using that for the event. So the Tsar takes command. Tsar Nicholas II, having no military experience, dismisses the Grand Duke from command of the Russian High Command, the Stavka, and assumes command himself. For the rest of this turn, any Allied attack that includes a Russian large combat unit receives a -1 die roll modifier. Righto. So, back to the Allies for their third action. And they have an event again, and we only have 1 card showing, so we have to use this card. We can't use it for its replacement points because we did that last time, so we have to use it for its ops points. So we have 3 ops points to use. I'm just going to have a little look here, and a little look there, and I'm going to have a look. Yeah. Okay, so 2 ops points, and I'm going to activate. Oh, do I want to do that? Let's hold off on that. Still 2 ops points. Okay, I want to move some or all of this stack. And I want to move the Guards Corps as well. So I'm going to use this one first, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3 and take Hermannstadt, which also gives us Brasov and a victory point, taking us back down to 14, so 1 our way. And then I have these 2 units here in Schlossberg, and I'm going to move both those units 1, 2, 3 and take Hutzeg. Excuse me, and 1, 2, 3 there with the, no I'm not, I'm going to leave 14 core there for the time being, because these sneaky buggers could go 1, 2, 3 and into there. Righto, so that is that. We have used ops points, and we're back to the CP, who get a DE again. So they have their Constantine again, and they have Von Bello, which is a combat card. Now, need to start building up replacement points for the Austro-Hungarians for sure, because they have nothing in here, which means anytime an LCU gets destroyed, it is permanently eliminated. What have we got? Italy's got to do something, and something's got to happen in the Balkans. Okay. As much as I don't want to, I'm going to use the King Constantine for its replacement value. So it's 1 to the Allies, 1 to their allies, 2 to Austria-Hungary, 3 to Germany. Okay, so Germany becomes 4, Austria-Hungary becomes 2, and their allies become 1. And even though Germany doesn't need them at the moment, Austria-Hungary does, which is the main thing. Righto, and back to the 4th for the Allies, and they have a DE, which gives them Salonika invasion and Greece. Ha ha! And that's what I wanted, and now they don't have Constantine to go straight in after it. So we are going to bring Greece in. We have a neutral entry. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll pause it there, bring everything on board, and then come back and you can see what's happened. Rightio. Okay. So as I said, we played the Greece. So what happened was the Allied powers war status went up by 1, so now we have a combined war status of 28. German national will dropped from 8 to 7, and we also gained a victory point for each victory space in Greece, which is Athens and Salonika. So the victory points are now down on 12 on the Allies' side. We've placed the Greek units. They only have 3 SCUs, 1 in Lamia, 1 in Fort Rupel, and 1 in Dorian. And because that was being held by the Austro-Hungarians, it reverts from a 2 to a 1 trench area with their unit in there. But there's no swap over of anything else. Now the only problem with that is it now opens up the frontier a little bit more. So if the Turks want to start coming across, as soon as Bulgaria goes their way, they only have to get through Xanthi or Philippopoli, and they're in. So we need to try and get some troops there as soon as possible. Righto. So back to the Central Powers now, and they get an AB, which is von Hutier, which is a combat card, and German reinforcements. Now I don't think they want to necessarily play German reinforcements at the moment. That's a 2 ops card with 1 German replacement. The combat card is a 4 ops card, which would give another 2 replacement points to the Austro-Hungarians. Now, again, the Austro-Hungarians don't really want to give up their the initiative, and I don't believe they really want to lose Monastir, but they can't get there in time to stop the Greeks getting in there. So I really think they're in trouble. They can't use either of these cards for replacement points because that's what they did last time. For some reason I put it in the Turkish reinforcements, and that was stupid. So yeah, they can't do more replacement points until next turn. So what it comes down to is German reinforcements, which they can do, or 2 ops or 4 ops. Now, they could do an attack from Lortzen into Grodno, because they have the artillery as well to help, which would basically make it an even 1-for-1 sort of attack. They could reposition some more units as well. But again, that's giving up the initiative. Can they? Now they can't do a... Let me think. What do they want to do? That's a good damn question, isn't it? Okay, well, I think they need to get back down here to at least protect Monastir. So we're going to use the Von Huttia card for its 4 ops points. We're going to try and get this booger down here, and we're going to try and get this booger back up in to hold Belgrade, even though the fort has been destroyed, because we don't want to give up that victory point again. Now, where can we do some damage is what it comes down to. Is there somewhere where the Germans can shorten their front and make our life a little bit dearer for the Russians? Right. Okay. I think we need to start moving the Germans up a little bit. So that's 3, and we have 1 more, I think. 1 more. And I believe what we might do is move these units as well. So we'll start from the north and work our way down. So I'm going to move the Guards Reserve. It can move 4, and it's going to go 1, 2, 3 into Isterburg and fully stack them out. I'm going to take some of these, if not these 2 units here, and move into Kutno to help to shorten the front a little bit, because now they're blocking the way through here as well. So that's those 2. I'm going to move 8 corps here up back to Belgrade, and I'm going to move 13 corps here, 1, 2, 3, back to Monastir, and that is that. Okay, back to the Allies. I'll just do a time check first. Yeah, we're doing fine. 25 minutes. Righto. So we're up to the fifth action for the Allies. They get a C, which is Brusilov. So we can do this. Yes, we will. We're going to do Brusilov. So the first thing is we get 1 war status point for the Allies. So that now takes the total war status up to 29 of 40. We can use this card for ops, so we'll have 2 ops points. We place the Brusilov headquarters, which is this little booger, with any supplied Russian LCU in Russia. And I think what we will do is place him in Warsaw at the moment. Okay. All AP units stacked with Brusilov headquarters are activated as one nationality and can negate 1 space of retreat after combat. All future AP mandated defences receive a +1, so we both sides on a +2 now. Okay, now I just want to make sure Okay, so I need to keep Brusilov there. Sorry, reminds me, like Mackinson, about can negate 1 retreat. Okay, so 2 ops points for the Allied powers. Okay. So what I think I wish to do is put 1 there. And I think what I want to do there was something else I wished to do, and now I can't remember. Okay, and I wish to move the Guards Corps. So I'm going to put a trench in Fort Rupel. There we go. Just in case those sneaky Turks want to come over. And the Guards Corps I'm going to move 1, 2 to Temesvar. Oops. And there we are, good to go. So that was an event for our 5th. Okay, back to the CP, and they have an A, B, C. So their A is Russian army morale dissolves, but they can only play this event when the Russian troop quality is 1. And the Russian troop quality at the moment is still on 11. So, nah. So they can't do that. Again, they have German reinforcements. And C is Turkish reinforcements. So the Turks are starting to build up. Now, again, I think what they really want to do, as much as I'd like to build the Turks up again, is I'm going to use this card again for its replacement value. And even though nobody is getting much out of it, the Allied total for them get 2 more. The Austria-Hungarians get 3 more, taking them to 5. And the Germans get 4 more, taking them to 8. It's the Austria-Hungarians that I'm looking at that really, really need this at the moment. Okay. So, the last action for the Allies will be an ABC. And just excuse me for a moment. Sorry about that. Back again. Just had to do something for she who must be obeyed. Happy wife, happy life. Keeps me out of lots of strife. Okay, so like we said, an ABC for the Allies. So A is the Great Retreat. B is Turkish desertions. And C is the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. Okay, so let's have a look at these. The Great Retreat. Is every supplied Russian unit of any type may move up to 2 spaces away from the nearest CP unit to a Allied controlled space or region subject to stacking limits. It does not apply to Russian Serbian Yugo or Russian 2-4 special unit, and does not apply to Russian uprising unit. So no, I don't really want to do that. Turkish desertions reduce all Turkish LCUs by 1 step, which would be a 1, a 2, a 3. Now they already have CP Allied RPs of 3, so they could bring them all back anyway, but it means that they use them. And the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk, again, cannot be played until November coup has been played, which has not. Okay, so we've got a 2 ops and 2 3 ops cards. And I've got the Brest-Litovsk has 1 Russian replacement. And the other 2 cards have 1 Allied, 1 Italian, and 2 Russian replacements. We currently have 2 Russian. So I'm going to keep the Turkish desertions for a moment. I think I'd really like to dump that on them just as they want to cross a border and do something to me. So I'm going to play the Brest-Litovsk one. Oh, sorry, wrong one. I'm going to play the Great Retreat one for its replacement points. So again, big buff head and hairy arm in the way. So our Allies get 1. The Italians get 1 more as well. And the Russians get 2 more. Like that. Okay, and the last action for the Central Powers is a C, which is the Tannenberg combat card. And it's they've now got 3 2 ops cards anyway. All of them give 1 German replacement point, which we cannot use. So basically we're looking at 2 ops points. Now we could bring on the Turkish reinforcements now, but because we've heard those sneaking allies talking about how our Turks may desert a little bit, it'd be a bit silly to do that, because then those corps would also be reduced. So I think what we will do is, I think the Turks are in fairly good ground at the moment. The Austro-Hungarians are hurting. So that means the Germans are going to have to pick up more of the slack. So I'm going to actually take German reinforcements. So their troop quality will go down from 10 to 8, which is no fun for them, I agree. But they're going to pick up the 13th German Infantry Corps, the 3rd Infantry Corps, Reserve Infantry Corps, the 24th Reserve Infantry Corps, and the 40th as well. So there they go. Righto. So that card runs away, and they have used German reinforcements for their last action. Okay, so they need to start helping out the Austro-Hungarians, which is the main point. So they've got 2 cavalry there. Righto. I'm going to put 13th Corps there, along with the 3rd Reserve and the 24th Reserve into Vienna. And then I'm going to place the 40th Reserve into Thorn. Like that. And that is all the actions done, so let's get to it. So we had no attacks this time, I don't believe. Okay, attrition. Again, everybody can trace a supply route, so there's no problem there. Siege phase, there are no sieges. War status phase, automatic victory, no. The victory counter is on 12, which is closer to the Allied victory, but nowhere near it. Armistice is getting closer. We have the combined war status on 29 of 40. War commitment levels are already at total war. National collapse we do not have. National will is fine for everybody at the moment. Russian Revolution doesn't count. Replacement phase. Okay. So the Italians get 2 replacement points. All their units are up to scratch except for this little one here. I'd really like to bring some of these corps back, but I can't, so I'm going to replenish that one, and then I am going to bring for half a point, and that becomes 1.5 points, and that's all I can do. Allies is only Greece, which can't do anything at the moment, so we have 2 points for them, which are no good, but that means that Russia now has 5 points. And excuse me for I'm terribly sorry about that again. First it was she who must be obeyed, and then it was son who must be dismayed. Righto. So Russians now, like I said, have 5 replacement points. We have 1, 2 LCUs that need fixing up. We have that. If I do 5, okay, I'm going to bring back 3 cavalry corps, and that will cost me 3. And where am I going to put them is the question. And I think I'm going to put them in Minsk as well. Yep. So that's 3. And then 9 core for 4. And 10 core for 5. Like that. Okay. Now, the CP Allied, the only one they have at the moment are the Turks, and there is nothing there that they need to do. Austria-Hungary has 5. Okay. Dum dum dum. Dum 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 dum. Okay, 5. So they're going to use 1 for an SCU, 2 for an SCU, 3 for an SCU, and then they're going to repair 13 core and 8 core. And again, the reasoning for the SCUs for them is because their bucket was empty. So any LCU that was wiped out, reduced twice, whatever you want to call it, would have been permanently eliminated. So this helps to forestall that a bit. Okay, and then lastly we have German with 8 replacement points, and they have nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, here, or here. It's just a waste, but it was, like I said, it was the Austria-Hungarians that I really wanted to try and help out there. Okay, discard combat cards. The Allies have no combat cards. The Central Powers have 2. The first one is their Tannenberg card. Again, odds, stay, even, go. It's an odd, it stays. And then the Von Bello, and that's odd as well. So that stays. Righto, draw cards. We don't need to shuffle the cards. We don't need to end of turn. So we will be going into the hot, sweaty, stinky, mosquito-infested summer in the Pripyat marshes and all the rest of it. And we will roll for next... Oh, hang on a tick. Italy did not do a mandatory offensive. And the Balkans did nothing either. So it's lose a point, so we both ended up exactly where we were. Mandatory offensive this time is a +2 for both, so it's 7 for each. And that means the Allies have to do something in the Balkans, and so do the Central Powers. And that is that. So things are starting to come to a head. The Germans are building, starting to push and shorten their front so that they can actually apply more energy in their attacks. The Russians are currently holding their frontier, except we've now lost the town of Kutno to the Germans. Austria-Hungarians are starting to slowly rebuild their forces in the Balkans, and we now have the Greeks on our side, and all we have is this little spit of land here between the Turks and the Greeks. So we're getting there, slowly but surely. So thank you very much again for watching. Take care, and I will catch you later for the next thrilling episode. Bye for now.